The Alps are what separate the men from the boys. Yesterday, the Col de la Colombière stood in the way of the finish line. 10 miles of the steepest roads the Tour has seen so far. The pressure was on, and an attack by Linus Gerdemann left the peloton to chase. Now the question is, what do the men who want to win the Tour do about it? Gerdemann had the ride of his life and made it to the summit first, blew away the competition on the descent, and rode into the yellow jersey. Today is an even tougher stage, including the Tour's first mountaintop finish. Who has the energy left to conquer the mountains? Stage 8 in the Alps, next on Versus. Paul Sherwin join us. The men have quite a day ahead of them.
London seems oh so long ago. Across the channel, down through the central part, and now we're heading east into the mountains and the toughest stage of this year's Tour so far. Les Grands Bornand is the start town. A couple of smaller climbs to begin the day, and then 3 monstrosities to finish off the Roseland. Haute de Ville is the next climb out on the racecourse. That's a Category 1. And then the final long grind up to Tignes, the ski resort, over 2,000 meters. It's a gradual climb, but it is long and a Category 1, 165 total kilometers.
In the Tour de France,
well, Vinokourov has got difficulties now, Phil. He can't stay on the wheel of this acceleration. And finally, Alexander Vinokourov is showing us that he is slightly injured. He's having a chat there on the radio, and he's trying to find his last little bit of rhythm.
Well, we're looking down on the lake there as we now continue this little final climb. They're dancing on the pedals here of Alberto Contador, but he's being joined here. That looks like Saster's got through to him.
And just behind is Denny Menchov as well.
Now, this is a big move again, more time to be gained.
Well, as Carlos Sastre said this morning, to win the Tour, you have to be patient. You have to wait for the time to make the move. He waited to see when everybody else was going to start to fail, and then he made his acceleration.
David Arroyo's being caught by them now. They're racing for second place.
Well, I think Andreas Kloden was just told there to sit up and wait for Alexander Vinokourov, because he's turned off the pressure as he looks to try and pull himself up to Alberto Contador. This man is injured. You have to take your hat off to him. He's trying to stay in touch in the Tour de France this year. He can do it here this afternoon. He just has to get back onto the wheel of his teammate up there, Andreas Kloden. He is trying to keep himself in with a chance. And look, Kloden has sat up there. He's going to go back to his man.
Well, in all of this crossfire here, the one man who isn't appearing in any of our pictures, I hate to say it, is Levi Leipheimer from the USA. I think he's been caught at the back of all of this. It has been such an incredible race. The French flag shining in the face there of Christophe Moreau. Cadel Evans is still right there with them. Valverde's face one of pain now. So too is Mayo. He's no longer as cool as he was, a lot lower down the mountain. Frank Schleck as well.
2 kilometers to go now, a little bit further up the climb, and still on his own. It's Michael Rasmussen, Tête de la Course. There is the summit of the climb, Phil. That's what he's been waiting for, and he will be greeted now with a flat final 2 kilometers. All he's got to do now is just ride himself down to the outskirts of the lake here. That has been a phenomenal performance when you bear in mind the battle that we have witnessed behind.
You're right about Contador. He had a bad back tyre. He got back, and when he went by, Sastre jumped out after him. So too Menchov. They're behind this group at the moment and trying to get back on terms. And here they are here. And where's Contador gone? He's danced away. He's just gone again. He's trying to get back to where he was. There's been a lot of injustice in the race today, and Contador, at least, is trying to get back up with the Moreau group.
Well, he is a phenomenal rider. Johan Brunel said he's one of the most one of the riders in the world who has the biggest acceleration on the slopes of a climb. It's amazing the style that he has. He wants to get back to the group where he was. Christophe Moreau is riding better than I've ever seen him ride in his career. He's riding with confidence, but Iban Mayo too is in the best form of recent years, and he's looking for a place at the end of today's stage.
It is not a uphill finish. He's got to make any gap here, otherwise they'll run him down, and that's what he's thinking. A big effort now by Iban Mayo, Sonia Duval, David Miller's team as he tries to get away, but there's a lot of heart in Christophe Moreau. He's desperate not to let anybody get away. Nobody's helped Moreau. It's been a big move by him today. Evans has ridden in his slipstream, and so too has Valverde, and that's where they are right now.
Well, Valverde's at the back of that group. This man, Iban Mayo, is a phenomenal rider. This is the final kilometre now, Phil, for the man who has left this race. He went on the first big categories climb of the Cormet de Roseland, and he's been going ever since.
135 kilometres. He'd been at or near the front of the race today, most of it in the last hour or so on his own. Rasmussen now is approaching the finish. We've gone back to Mayo as the flags of Norway fly here.
Well, Cadel Evans was just behind there trying to make a move. He sat in the slipstream of Christophe Moreau for an awful long time, but he sees this as a chance to pull himself back a fraction of time as well. Little further back, though, Alexander Vinokourov is riding his own solitary effort, trying to keep in touch in the Tour de France here this afternoon. It's a very difficult ride for that man who's got stitches in his knees and his elbows, but as long as he doesn't lose too much time this afternoon, he will move well up into the top 10 in this race and still be the chance of a winner at the end of the Tour.
400 metres to go for Michael Rasmussen, then the clock will start, and I think he's going to have yellow as well. This has been like he did a year ago at La Toussuire. It's going to be even sweeter because a maillot jaune will await. It has been a ride and a half today, and Denmark have found once more a superstar of cycling. He's riding his fourth Tour de France. He's never worn a leader's jersey other than a King of the Mountains. Well, now he's going to lead in both competitions because I think the clock later on will confirm he's in yellow as well as the King. This has been a ride, and he'll have scared the race out of their pants today. Tomorrow's a rest day, and he deserves it more than anybody else. Rasmussen 2:47 ahead of Mayo. Alejandro Valverde pulled out a rather average day by taking third in the end. Christophe Moreau fourth. Frank Schleck and not Carlos Sasta for CSC home there in fifth. Cadel Evans sixth. Kashakin and not Vinokourov seventh. Contador, if he hadn't have punctured, he'd have probably been a top 3 rider today. Denny Menchov ninth. Carlos Sasta completing the top 10. Look at the time gaps, 4:13 to these boys. And then comes Subeldia. Leipheimer home in 12th place, losing almost 4 minutes to the winner. And completing the top 15, the rider who finished second in the Tour, Oscar Pereiro, he was down there too. Just looking down all this, Alexander Vinokourov 19th, conceding 4:29 and suffering badly towards the last 3 kilometres of the day. Gerdeman, yes, he's lost his yellow jersey. He's finished 20th, but he's only a few seconds off the jersey, now being worn, of course, by Michael Rasmussen.